This time I have a Pioneer SX434 in for service. Complaint on this one, well, it's kind of unknown because it had been put away in storage for a while and they brought it to me to check it over before they power it up and do any work that's required on it. So let's take a look at what we got here and what we're going to do to get it up and running. Power on. Okay, the controls need to be cleaned for starters. Turn the muting off. I don't have an antenna connected to it, so there's my test transmitter. Controls definitely need to be cleaned. So let's pull the top. Here's the view from the bottom. Some of these caps in here in the power supply probably could be replaced. Looking at this one here looks like it's kind of a bit, the jacket on it is kind of shrinking a bit, which generally is an indication that it might be getting close to going, so maybe change this one out. We'll measure them. I'm going to put the ESR meter on them and we'll take a look at them and see how they look. The parts that need to be replaced will be done, let's put it that way. So looking at this one here, that one there, probably a good chance a few of these ones will need to be replaced. I'm just looking at how to get at those controls to clean them because of course they're behind the circuit board, so it could be fun to get in there with a cleaner without having to disassemble this thing any more than I have to. Just to get this thing open so I can get some cleaner into the controls here, I have to take this whole thing all apart. So while I've got the board out, I've cleaned the controls now. While I've got the board out, I'm just going to take my ESR meter and I'm just going to go through and I'm going to check some of these caps in the audio circuit here because this board is such a pain in the ass to get at. And some of these caps on here, you can't get at it without actually taking the board out. So I'm just going to go through, I'm going to look and see if there's any of the ones, any of these big filters and stuff in here have got bad ESR. That's 0.08, that was looking fine. So I'm just checking these. So far, none of these are jumping out at me saying that they're bad. A 330 at 25 over here. This is a 330 at 25.1, yeah, 0.07. That one's okay. 220 at 25 is, where's that one? Is that this one? Yeah, that one's okay. Looks like these ones are okay. Now those ones are all checking out okay. So this one back here, 220 at 16 volts. So 220 at should be like 0.33, and this one is coming up at I was getting close. So that's the one that I suspected might need to be changed. 0.36. 133 is this one down here. 0.23. 0.1. What is that one? 330 at 50. 330 at 50. So 0.1, between a 0.09 and a 0.16. Looks, that one looks to be okay too. This one here, I'll swap out that one because that one there certainly, that one could be bad. The others all look okay. They're all checking well within their ESR rating, even for old caps. I mean, they're right down in the rating of new ones. I made the decision that I am going to swap out a few of the coupling caps in here just because this board is so hard to work on, to take it apart, to work on this. For a couple caps, I'm going to change, I've got them, so I'm going to change some of the ones on here, the 47 and the 220 and so forth. I'll change the coupling caps in the preamp board just because I have them, right? So might as well do it while I've got it apart. Okay, I've changed out 4 of the coupling caps. As you can see, a couple of them here looking like they're getting a bit dry. The other ones are all seem to be okay. This one here was a little bit questionable. So I changed out the 4 ones in the preamp in the coupling stage. We're also going to change out this one over here. I'm just going to put this board back in now. It's kind of tricky to get this in because you got to kind of angle it in and line up the heatsink. So it was a bit of a challenge to get this thing out, so I'm sure putting it back in is going to be just as much of a challenge. You know, some companies just have really dumb layouts, and this is going to be one of them. There, sort of. There we go. There, that's in place. Now I'm going to change out this cap here on this power supply board. This little 220 16 volt unit here. So if we recheck the ESR, 220 at 16 volts should be 0.33 maximum for a new cap. This is an old one, and it is coming in at 0.21, so it hadn't even gone bad as far as ESR goes. Now we'll check our replacement cap here and see that our replacement one looks like it's faring worse than the original one. 0.28. So it's okay, but it's not measuring any, it's not that much lower. Here's another new 220 at 16 volts. 0.78. That one measures bad right out of the package. Try another one. So here's the third one. 0.84. 0.87. Two different, actually bought them at two different times, so they're in two separate bags. I had like one left. So yeah, the other one that's measuring like 0.2, this one, other one over here. This one here is going to go in because it's measuring lower, it's measuring within spec. But two brand new ones here are measuring higher than my ESR tester says they should be for worst case for a new cap. Okay, new cap is in. Just mount this board back down here. One. And now mount the controls, and we'll test this thing. See how it sounds. All the knobs are back on. We'll just power this thing up and see what it does. Sounds like it's working. So now I'm going to do the channel, the power balance, to see if our channels are equal. So I'm in stereo mode obviously now. Okay, so if I turn it to mono. Okay, now we're just looking at a mono signal. Now, what we want to see is we want to see this just as it is. Perfect 45 degree. If I turn it to the left channel, the balance, it's going to go 100% horizontal. If I turn it to the right channel, it's 100% vertical. This is how we know our channels are balanced in mono, because we'll get equal deflection. Left channel, right channel. Back to stereo. Okay, what we're looking at now is we're looking at the left channel, the right channel. We're looking at the difference between the two in mono. So as I roll the balance control, of course, now we're seeing like left minus right. So the middle trace will copy the bottom trace. Same with the top trace. It's basically looking at the same thing, right? I put it in stereo mode. Now we're seeing the different signal. This would be like your surround, like left minus right. So that information would be what would be going to your surround speakers, because what I'm doing is I'm adding the signal together, but I'm adding it to an inverted channel too. If I turn off the invert, it's now this would be the mono signal, right? This is the sum. This would be the sum signal, right? Now it's adding the two signals together, and if I hit invert, now it's subtracting, so this is just the different signal. So if I turn off the invert, for example, and I put it in mono, we're seeing the same signal added together if I hit the invert button. And if I go back to stereo, Now we're getting a different signal. This thing sounds great. And as you can see, all I've done is I've just connected my scope to the speaker terminal. So what I was looking at there is I was looking at the amplifier outputs, and everything's balanced. Levels are equal for both channels. Everything's tracking perfectly. One last thing I noticed was that the FM dial was not corresponding to the frequency it was tuned to. So I'm just adjusting the oscillator capacitor to line everything up. That does it for this one. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.